to get to it. That is. Well, okay. I will get to it. People have a choice of hearing from E.G. Daily or watching you and I talk. Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Thanks, guys.
There's looks and there's talent.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. I was saying we're the looks and they're the talent. See, irony, sometimes you say something blatantly false and you underscore it to the point to make the opposite point. Let's go sarcasm. Dottie is here. You're from here. You went to Beverly High School.
Yeah.
You were Beverly High.
Yeah.
You went to school with, from what I understand, from what I've heard, Nick Cage,
yeah.
Crispin Glover,
yeah.
my friend Ken Daly, same spelling, who I don't think you knew. And I don't know what Ken did to you that would make you deny that, and I'll talk to him about that later. Did this just come from an audition? Did you have any idea what it was that you were going in to read for?
No. Not at all. I just went to a regular audition and there was a lot of like comedian girls that were in the waiting. I think it was Warner Brothers, right? And I just was, I just knew that I had been familiar with the Pee Wee Herman thing,
right.
The show. So I thought, well, I knew like his girlfriend, I didn't want to play her like this, sexy Hollywood girl. So I just knew she'd be a little bit of a tomboy and just kind of like real, fun, quirky.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just an audition and then that was it.
Yeah, it's interesting because if you lived in LA, you knew about the Pee Wee Herman show, but it was a very short. It's a very specific kind of humor, and I'm wondering if when you first started rehearsing with Paul, did you have to find the relationship, because he's sort of neutral gender, he's in a lot of ways he's 9 years old, he's not sexualized yet. And did you have to kind of find how to play that stuff?
I think I just really felt like Dottie and Pee Wee are on the same page as far as that. I felt like she was just really into bikes and fixing a bike, and obviously she loved Pee Wee, but I just think they weren't like super sexualized. I personally am, never mind. Anyway, no, just kidding. But no, I think they just really like, I just remember showing up on the set, and then there was, I get to see, it wasn't like I spent a lot of time with Paul before that. I just showed up, and I think they just knew what they were looking for. And, there was this wacky, genius director, Tim Burton, and it was his first movie, so we were kind of like, wow. I just noticed, like, this guy's really genius. Like, we didn't know anything about him other than the short we had done. And so I just felt
was the short Frankenweenie or Vincent?
Frankenweenie. Yeah.
And did you watch that before you?
I watched it, yeah, and I was like, wow, they had a lot of really big expectations for him, and I just saw being on the set with him that he was really very meticulous and genius, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. I had no idea that the movie was going to be like, we would be coming here 40 years later, and
Diane, I wanted to ask you, when you were working on this, because it's not a dissimilar, it's one of the things that you guys put into the movie was that you get this top of the second act, it's just every urban legend. Like, it's a beautiful road movie, you bang down every urban legend, you knock them all down. And when you were working in the film, did you feel that the director, was Tim Burton yet? Because it was his first movie. Was he still finding his way?
He was absolutely precious. He came to my little cottage because I had like 5 different Southern accents to do. And I knew I would never get cast as a waitress if I sounded like me. So I thought I'd talk he picked out, I wanted to know some obscure Southern accent. He wanted the one that everyone would understand.
Right.
But he was just so sweet. And one of my fondest memories is going to the set when I wasn't working. And those days, you could actually do that. You could actually go to Warner Brothers. You didn't have to have, what's his name in the movie? Milton Berle to get in. You just got in. And I went
It's
in.
unfortunate that there are no obvious jokes about Milton.
And I went in, and it was the scene where the convict and Pee-wee are falling from the sky in the convertible, and it opens up a new parachute. And I'm watching this, and I went up to Tim and Paul when they were taking a break, and I said, "Look, you don't know this about me, but I'm very psychic and intuitive, and this is going to be a huger movie than anyone has any idea about." And they just kind of looked at me and smiled. They didn't really believe it. And I just knew, seeing this scene that I had nothing to do with, I could separate and just look, and I thought, oh my God, this is genius.
And then you and Paul got back together.
Yes,
and
twice.
gave birth to the penguin.
Yes. It was a difficult birth.
Yes. But yeah, did you ever joke that was Simone and Pee-wee's child when you were on the set?
It's weird because Tim put us in exactly the same positions as he did in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I don't even think he was aware of it, but when you see these stills, we're in exactly the same position, both movies. It's bizarre. And Paul would crack me up so much before before Tim would go and action. I'd say, "Shut up, Paul! Shut up! We have to be serious here. Our baby's eating the cat." And he loved to crack me up. Just loved it. I kept saying, "Shut up! Shut up!"
You were talking about seeing his short films. His first short film was a stop-motion short that he made at Disney called Vincent. And that's where I believe some of the Kyoto brothers come in.